will be discussing the passage fear, and we will be talking about what is fear and what is not fear. Starting with Charlie.
Okay, so in my opinion, according to story, I think death is not really a fear, although many people do think that death is a fear. Because based on page 2, paragraph 2, the character said, I have gone through many dangers, many adventures which seem to promise death. I have often been in battles. I have been left for dead by thieves, and many times I was condemned as an insurgent to be hanged, and off the coast of China have been thrown into the sea from the deck of the ship. So basically what I think is,
I totally agree.
yeah. So, yeah, because, death is a life process where everyone would have to experience it eventually. It's just that people might experience it in a different way. And honestly, I think it's just a natural cause. It's a life experience, and eventually we'll just get to that point. And we should just,
But that's what life is about, though.
Yeah, that is
we're all
what-
gonna go through it, like you said.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna experience it on their own. There are people who are afraid of fear, but I feel like we shouldn't be afraid of, afraid of death.
Death, yeah.
But we shouldn't be afraid because we should enjoy our lives, because no matter what, we're gonna die.
Yeah,
And that's what
and
we're going
so
to.
rather us being so scared
Scared
of
of
death,
death.
just
Enjoy life.
enjoy our life. Just treasure it. Treasure the daily life that we get.
Okay, I agree with Charlie. I think that fear is a feeling that we have when we're facing the unknowns. In the story, the character felt fear. Once was in the desert, and the other time was in the old gamekeeper's house. In the desert, when he was traveling, he was basically lost, and he's constantly facing the possibility of death and dehydration, but he did not feel any fear. But when they heard the drums coming from the sandhills, although it did not harm them in any way, it completely terrified them because they do not understand where the noise comes from. So I think that people were not afraid of death, but rather the unknowns of life.
So I think you guys pretty much did well on summarizing the both stories. However, I feel like there's this quote that once Will Smith said. He said that fear is not real, it's a product of thoughts you create. Do not misunderstand me. Danger is very, very real, but fear is a choice. Both stories, they just had those thoughts of their fears that they thought, oh, they're gonna die because like in the second story about the dog and the ghost, I thought it was a ghost, but it was their own dog, old breed dog, and it's just I feel like people create their own thoughts of their fear.
Yeah, I totally agree to that because, when people are scared of something, right?
Yeah.
It tends that if they're having this really bad day, and then something just really scared them, rebounds them, they would probably, whatever they see, they think that's fear, because they were probably exaggerating the thing in their minds, and it's just gonna make it worse. And sometimes people scare themselves because something scared them to the point where they don't really function the way how they're supposed to function normally. So
But I
totally agree to that point.
But I feel like when you have a fear, a legit fear, like I said, let's not include that.
Yeah.
But when you have a legit fear, there's this fear. I'm gonna make fear as a person. There's this person inside of you discouraging you, telling you, oh, you're not gonna overcome that. And the only solution that people tend to do at that point is they just escape, they avoid it, and that kind of tend to make the situation even worse. And
It's like a spirit, right? Another spirit
It's another spirit
that went
living-
into your body
Yes.
and it's telling you, yo, you can't do this, man. Trust me, you are not capable
It's
of doing this.
It's
specific
like
thing.
the episode of Adventure Time, Fear of
Mhm.
Ocean, the Fear Visor. It's kind of the same thing, but it's just.
There's always a dark side and a bright side in your body.
But I also think that it takes a strong person, with really self-confidence, to overcome a fear. Because, like I said, there are fears that fears is just a contagious emotion inside of us, and it's harder to get through
Yeah.
because it's always discouraging us to say, oh, you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. for me, like I said before, I'm scared of snakes. If I saw a belt on the floor and the light was off, I would tend to I would scream. I don't know what to do. I tried to get out of the room because of the snake. Like there's this, it's just a fear that's inside of me that I can't get through it. And I'm not strong enough to overcome
It's just
it.
like fear is just like a natural emotion that changes the way you like how your brain functions, and then and I mean fear could probably, I mean fear is it's like a really serious thing, right? And it would fear could get to the point where it will make you to do whatever it takes to avoid fear, and that might include running away, hiding in remote places around the world probably, or it might lead you to the point where you would just want to die. You just want to just kill yourself.
Can I
Yeah,
answer
go
that?
for it.
Okay, so relating to what you said, it's also said in the passage that these people, when they saw the dogs by the window, they thought it was an old man, but it was actually just their dog because they're so terrified, and they end up seeing stuff that they imagine.
It's just thoughts we create, like a cycle.
And it's also very contagious because in the beginning, the character, he was annoyed at the foolish fears of the people, but in the end, he got drawn in and he started to think that something's gonna happen as well, which is, I think, pretty cool.
But I feel like what you said before, fear is a contagious emotion inside of us, and overcoming a fear is one of the hardest things that
It's a
people
hard
can,
obstacle.
because it depends what fear you have. There is legitimate fears.
Yeah, I mean overcoming your fear is hard, but I mean it's not like something that's impossible. It's not.
But it
something
depends what kind of fear.
Yeah, it depends.
It depends on the fear itself. Communication, maybe it's slowly and public speaking, maybe slowly and slowly and slowly you can
you
try
have to
to
develop the
develop
experiences and all that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Relating to myself, I'm not gonna be embarrassed for me saying out this, but I mean, one of my biggest fear, and I still have that fear, for many years already, and it's something really hard for me to get rid of. But I enjoy watching horror movies. I really enjoy the jump scares and all that.
hate them.
I love watching horror
I
movies.
hate them. They
But-
scare the heck out of
no.
me. I can't stand them.
But the thing is, I'm okay with watching a horror movie, right? I'm totally fine with that. In fact, I enjoy that. But it's just that when I really have to experience it in real life, of me going to a haunted house, I can never, ever go into a haunted
But you're
house.
watching it.
I'm
How do you
watching
not get
because
terrified?
no, it's just like what you said. It's a different emotion because you're watching it. You know it's actually fake. Although I do know it's fake of me going to a haunted house. It's just people behind the mask faking it all up. It's just that
But
it's
experiencing
different. It's
it-
a different type of emotion that you get because you're actually walking it. It's live. You're walking through the haunted house and people are jumping out. So it's exactly.
So you're basically saying
So
watching it and
it's
experiencing it.
you're in the movie because you're the one who's experiencing now. Everything
It's like your human nature.
Yeah,
it's
it's
your
like-
instinct.
But it doesn't make sense to me that he enjoys watching it and
You
he's not
enjoy-
terrified of it.
Well, I mean, when of course I'm still terrified with it. If there's a part where I think something's gonna jump out, something's gonna go bad, I cover my face up until the part just finishes. Yeah, I still do that.
No, the reason to that is because you're in a safe environment.
Yeah, you're in a safe.
That's
You know
why-
that nothing will jump out of you or touch you or
Yeah,
whatever.
but when
right? 'Cause
you're
it's a movie scene. But
actually-
when you're actually doing it, it's a different feeling that you're getting because
Yeah.
people are actually jumping out in
But
front
the
of your
thing
face.
is, with me, when I watch it, when I'm done with it, I'm like, okay, but all the stuff that I watched are
It comes back to you, right?
at night, I
And then it's hard
imagine
for you to
myself
sleep.
being in that situation. So the
Yeah.
next morning, what the heck happened? I'm so terrified of that movie. It's
But
just
you know what?
emotions.
I mean, yeah, that's one of my biggest fear, but
It's
it's getting better now. I went to Fright Night this last year
You
and
did?
it was, I almost had a heart attack. This one haunted house, it freaked me. I almost pissed myself just saying. But, I just thought to myself that eventually you're gonna be an adult and you don't want to be a scaredy cat. I'm just
You wanna
gonna
be
use that term.
dependable,
Yeah, you want to
strong.
be. And in fact, a boy, not to be like gender
Yeah.
or whatever. It's just like I'm a boy.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be scared of those. I mean, in fact, I know that they're fake anyways. Like, so there's really no point of me being scared of going to a haunted house because I mean like everything is just meant to set up that way because they want to give you the they want to give you the they want to give you the adrenaline rush inside and all that. So
But yeah.
so it's taking time. I mean I'm getting better
I
every
think
year.
some fear we can get rid of, but some fear we can't overcome. Like for example, if you see a corpse in front of you, you will be scared, right?
Of course.
But no matter how many corpses you see, you will still be scared when you see it, because it's really part of your human instinct.
Like for me, many people don't believe this, but that's true. Growing up, I was the shy person that always thought that I just had these ideas or fears inside of me that used to tell me, oh, people are gonna judge you no matter what, and no matter what you say, you're wrong. So don't try ever bother to talking to people. And it didn't make sense to me that I have to hold myself from people, not talking, not saying my ideas, my thoughts, and whatever. I just started creating these emotions or like this fear to myself that I'm afraid of people, I'm afraid not talking. But slowly and slowly, I tried to interact with people more and more and more, and that kind of helps me in my life. Right now, I have a job, I work at McDonald's. It requires a lot of interaction, a lot of communication. Now I enjoy talking to people. So I think that
It just takes time.
It just takes time.
Like how as I was saying, I'm afraid of not only that, I'm afraid of other things too. It's just that you just have to go through many experiences. It takes time. It's also a life experience. It's something that
but
it's an
I
obstacle.
enjoy having it. I enjoy
because
having fear.
you've adapted the lifestyle of it now. So
I
therefore
enjoy having fear actually.
Okay,
So
so
yeah.
yeah,
that is cool.
our
That's everything.
story.
Oh,
I'm
should
embarrassing
we
fears.
should we also come up with a conclusion?
Okay, so
Basically, we think that fear is not death. Like humans, we do not fear death, but we fear something like else other than death.
Death, because
Yeah.
death isn't a fear. Death, everybody
yeah,
experiences
everybody
it.
would have to experience it,
Everybody's
just
gonna
in different
experience it
ways.
in different
and
ways.
Yeah.
So people shouldn't really be scared of
death.
death. They should just treasure.
Every moment.
Everyone should be they should be honored that we get the chance to live on this earth already. And you know what? That's probably the best
I
thing.
don't want to live my whole life working, going to school,
Yeah.
and whatever. You
So,
know?
you know what? Don't be scared of death, okay?
That's-
Treasure your life. Don't
Life
be
is
scared.
life
Don't
is
be
beautiful.
scared.
Life is beautiful.
Okay?
Life is beautiful.
And just enjoy your everyday
My
life.
life.
Just enjoy it.
Okay.
So
That's it.
that concludes our
Yay. Thank
chit-chat
you for
discussion.
listening.